Hey, this is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about a debt portfolio that is being released on the market, and I think it's ridiculous. I think that this is totally ridiculous. And this is kind of gives credibility or validation to the video that I just previously made earlier today, stating that debt collection lawsuits, the majority of them do not have merit. They could not win if you took it all the way to trial, if you pushed it all the way. Uh, Look at this portfolio. This portfolio is from a group of mixed lenders. The principal amount is $357,299,688.14. 41,039 United States citizens are going to be sent letters about this debt or get a phone call. This debt was charged off from 10/30/1983. The average balance is $17,412.26. Now, for you that don't know, I'm about to let you know that this debt is 100% unable to be legally collected. The only way that you would end up paying this debt is if you uh, fall into a trap and somehow get this debt reassigned to where you have to pay it, or um, you have some type of religious reason or moral or whatever, which is not valid for this here, but you have no legal obligation. They're gonna go after 41,039 people for $17,412.26 that they don't have to pay. Legally don't have to pay. They can't take you and sue you in court and win over this. Now, I'm going to take you over to my website because I want to, put more power behind my words. Okay, this is my website. This is on my blog. All you have to do is go to the creditrepairshop.com, and on my blog, type in statute, and then it will pull up statute of limitations. And you're going to see this here with statute of limitations. Now, let's look at this. This is for written contracts. At worst, in Kentucky, which is the poorest state in our nation, uh, 15 years on a written statute of limitations. And all of the other states 610. You see that these none of them state that that was more than what 30 something years ago. What is that for? 80, 93, 10, 20, 30, almost 40 years ago. I'm going to keep repeating it because there's always someone new that don't know this. People are always paying debts that they don't have to pay. No one's telling you to try to run away from your debt, but you better bet that if there was a corporation and they had a statute of limitations on you being able to sue them, that they would take full advantage of that, and you have a right to take full advantage of the statute of limitations laws for your state. So, in if you when you go to my page, you're going to notice that there's four columns. You have a written, which is the first column. You have oral, which many of you would rarely be involved in, but maybe you have a deal with your friend that you loan them a money, and or they loan you money. You have a promissory note, which is making a big comeback, and then you have open end contracts. All of them, 100% of them, have statute of limitation agreements. Not statute agreements, statute of limitation laws in all 50 states. And so you can see here, at worst, Kentucky, it has for credit card balance that is owed, has a 5 or 15 year statute. It has a little these asterisks right here. Certain situations apply, but 15 years for like if you have a car note, you got it repossessed, 15 years. You can see some states have 3 years, like Mississippi. Great job on that. You got Alabama, you got what, California's one. I think California lowered theirs. I'm gonna have to check on the updates, make sure these didn't get updated. But you can see at worst case, they don't have 30 years statute of limitations. So I want to make you aware of this. So if you have debt collectors sending you letters, it doesn't matter if it's one that's statute of limitations. Well, first you need to look at to see when the charge off date was for that debt. Because if it's past the legal statute of limitations, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to notify them that they're trying to collect a debt that you do not legally have to pay and you want them to cease all collection activities. You have to give them notice of that. If you don't do it, they're not going to pay attention and they're going to keep coming after you. And you don't want them to make a phone call to your job. You don't want them to actually make a phone call to one of your relatives to and try to embarrass you, or your neighbors to try to embarrass you, or one of your coworkers, or someone that you put as a reference on that application. You don't want them to do that. You don't want them to send a note or a letter to your employer saying that they've had trouble trying to contact you. You just don't want this type of stuff to happen. You don't even want to give them an opportunity. You want to stop it right at the beginning. So what you need to do is you need to grab my 3-pack of letters. It has a statute of limitations letter, a cease and desist collection activities letter, and a debt validation letter. Now let me tell you how this works. With the cease and desist, when you look at the charge off date on your credit reports, and if you don't have your complete credit reports, you can go to the website your3scores.com. It's right here on the screen. Grab your complete credit reports, look at the charge off date in the comment section. That's when the statute of limitations clock starts to tick. If it is, like, for example, if you're in Alabama and the statute of limitations was more than 3 years ago to the date, or it could be to today. Today could be the third year. You don't have to pay that debt, not one penny of it legally. They cannot do anything. They cannot even contact you about that debt. But you have to notify them, or you're going to be where you're going to be put into a position where they're going to be able to do it. Somehow, some way, you can get tricked into paying that debt. A lot of people still don't know this. Now, if the debt isn't past the legal statute of limitations to collect, I just made a video that where an administrative judge stated that a majority of the debt collections that are being taken to his courtroom, they don't even have proper documentation to sue over that debt. You don't know what proper documentation means. Proper documentation is everything to prove a legal on the legal grounds that you have to pay that debt. Everything that they should be able to get from the original creditor. Here's the problem: they never get everything that they need to really prove that you have to pay the debt, or that you have to pay the debt that they acquired from that original creditor. But they don't never get put into that position. The letter that I give you, the cease and desist collection activities letter and the debt validation letter, will put them into that position to where if they don't have all of the appropriate documentation, which they normally don't, then they know that they're going to be going into court with a 50-50 chance of winning, or 50% chance of losing. And they don't like to lose. So if you put it all on the table early, more than likely they're not going to try to sue you and take you to court. All right, those letters are for free below this video. Grab them, put your email into the submission button. It's going to get emailed right over to you, or it's going to give you the download right away. But I also ask you to make a donation, because that donation helps me monetize the channel for my time bringing you this great information. So please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.